Hey Airbnb family, so I'm editing the video that you're about to watch like in a second, and I realized in this video that I give you guys a really cool hack, a way to get free customer service staff for your business part-time as a small host. It's wicked cool. It's a great idea. So stay tuned to the end of the video for that, but enjoy, and I'll see you on the other side. It's been a year, hasn't it? We made it this far, for better or for worse. And I know some of you hosts out there just want to absolutely murder your guests right now. So in this video, I want to help. I'm going to try to guide you back to where you first were when you started in this industry. And there's some huge benefits of doing what I'm about to give you as advice. It's actually going to make you more money. Like even if you don't want to hear anything else but how to make more money on Airbnb, this will affect your bottom line. So in this video, let's talk about burnout. Let's talk about guests. Let's talk about coronavirus and how we can repair and heal moving forward. Let's jump in. Welcome back, Airbnb family. Greetings from Chiapas, Mexico, actually on the border of Guatemala, which is behind you. This video comes because I speak to Haley every day. She runs the Airbnb business while I'm here spending my month in Mexico. She knows everything. She's great. And she's busy. She's super busy. And she used to handle it not as well, but she's doing a killer job with it lately. But the contrast of like her mental energy and my mental state from, of course, being more relaxed and on vacation and her being in the mix reminded me of when I first got into this industry. And I want to share that story with you and kind of like the hack that you can learn from this all. See, when I started in 2014, at the end of 2014, I only had a few units. I had my newspaper business. I was focused on that. I didn't really think that Airbnb was going to be big. So I didn't really put a lot of worry or focus on it. I just kind of let it do its thing. But 2017 came, and then next thing you know, I've got like 10 properties, 20, 25, 50, and I'm growing this business. At one point, I'm doing so much of it by myself because that's how I always like to do things, that I took on too much, more than I could chew. I had too many guests to communicate with, too many housekeepers to communicate with, too many repair things, problems. And back then, we didn't have the huge issue with bad guests and refunds. So it's actually gotten worse lately, but I still hit a wall back then. I had a wall where I started to burn out. And the side effect of me burning out was essentially at about 1 a.m. in the morning or 1:30 in the morning when I get a phone call from somebody who couldn't get in or lost their key, I stopped answering those phone calls. I didn't want to pick up my phone after 1 because I wanted to sleep a little bit, and I just didn't want to deal with stupid guests after midnight. And I know a lot of you hosts are with me on this. But the problem with this is you can't punish that one guest, especially if the reason why you're this way is because of the thousands of guests before this one. See, you had tons of bad guests, right? You have ones that don't read their check-in instructions, that don't follow the rules, that smoke when they're not supposed to, bring in a pet that they didn't tell you about. It gets bad, but you're punishing the next guest for the last guest's transgressions. And it's really hard, but it's something you have to do as a business. You have to hit the reset button. And the reason why is because every guest has, just a generic expectation of how their Airbnb trip is going to go. And if you hit them with a curveball because you're short on patience that day and you run your business emotionally, it's going to affect your reviews. It's going to affect the way that guest treats your space. It's going to affect the whole experience between you and that guest. And the more bad reviews you get from the way you treat these guests leads to lower ranking, and thus you'll get worse guests in the future. So it's a downward spiral that you want to save yourself from. So try to step back. Just take a look at your business and why you got started. You probably did it because it was an easy way to get more cash flow. Some of you own your properties, some arbitrage like me. I did it because the Super Bowl gave me a huge opportunity, but I saw consistent profitability, very much less risk than running a normal business where I've got sales staff that may or may not perform. These listings, people just show up. They book and they show up. So this is much easier and much lower risk to me. Rental arbitrage is low risk to me compared to my newspaper industry. And that's why I got into it. Now, some of you might like the autonomy, the fact that you can sleep into whenever you feel like, and you can have as many properties as you want. You don't have to go too big, or you don't have to only have one. You can do what you want. You can grow to the size that you like. It will fit you. And these are the things that we need to be grateful for. And if you can maintain a sense of gratitude for your opportunity, for the fact that it's given you so much already, that you can take some of that overflowing gratitude and just throw it at the guest that's giving you a hard time and just kind of act in love and be like, you know what? there might be a reason why you're upset or being weird. Or maybe you're just a guest who gets weird on trips all the time. And we see those guests. Some people are so neurotic that they cannot go on a trip without their anxiety spiking up and it affecting the way that they behave on a trip. It just happens. And you have to forgive people for that so that way you can move forward and run your business. If you don't, you're gonna let those people build up, and it's gonna become a stressor, and you're gonna punish the next guest. Hope that makes sense. So there's something called a strategic stop. It's in the book. I used to recommend this book all the time. It's Critical Business Skills for Success. It's by the Great Courses. And it's at the end of this 34-hour audiobook. And a strategic stop is basically like a 15-minute business-oriented meditation session where you basically start with mindfulness, emptying your brain, chilling out, just trying to go to baseline, and then slowly reintroducing what you need to in the day. Tasks at hand, what you have to get done, things you have to make decisions on, all that good stuff. And if you can use the strategic stop to help reset and create mindfulness over the fact that you're dealing with customers all the time, you can use this as a way to level up your customer service. And if you cannot, for any reason, go without punishing your guests for being stupid, and yes, I'm saying that guests can be stupid and they will be stupid, you're going to be hosting anybody and everybody. There's a wide range of people who show up in your home, and if you can't shut up when a guest is being dumb or doesn't read your house rules, if you can't treat that guest well in spite of their faults, then you need to hire somebody who can. At this point, we hired customer service staff because it prevents burnout for our managers. See, Haley and Sarah and Kristen and Catherine and John, they all still deal with guests, but none of them are cursed to deal with guests 24/7 because we have support staff that takes like the median of the day, like the housekeeping turnover, post housekeeping, and it takes all that time that they need to do other stuff and allows them to do their job so that way they don't resent guests for taking them away from their critical work like managing staff and managing inventory and stuff like that. Then they do some stuff in the evenings and some stuff in the morning with guests, but nobody's doing so much guest work that they burn out. This is a way that you can avoid it. So team up with another host. If you cannot afford to hire somebody to do your customer service because there's 2 properties, find 3 other hosts and take shifts. Co-host for each other and go, hey, can you be on call Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, so I can have a date night with my family, or just do anything fun? I've got a hobby. I want to go kickboxing on Thursdays. Work with hosts. And if you work for them for free, they work for you for free, you've teamed up, and now you have a way that some of you can have some days off finally. But regardless, even if you don't get the much deserved days off, if you don't get the good guests and you're being punished by the universe with bad guests, you need to let it end there, and you need to find a way to hit that reset button. Every new guest needs a fresh, amazing start. You owe them that. And if you do that, your reviews will stay higher and you'll get better guests. Karma will pay you back. I hope this was helpful. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. I've got nothing better to do on this trip but to read your guys' comments. Love you guys, and I'll see you on the other side.